Hello there everybody, it is Believing Bruce here again, the channel where we help you understand what's going on in your head so you can think, feel and act that little bit better. Mental health, well-being, that is all the focus around about how can we perform to our optimal level. So this video is a second follow-up, if you will. I done a video on the body language of KSI and Logan Paul at the UK press conference, and that's gained some traction, a lot of thumbs up, thank you very much for that. But there was a lot of questions about, well, can you compare, Bruce, the one in America to the one in the UK? Again, I'm just brand new to this, so thanks for all your advice and nudges in the right direction. It is most appreciated. So that's what this one is going to be. It's going to be a look at how Logan Paul and KSI came across in the US press conference, but then also a comparison of the two to see if, from a body language expert's opinion, do I notice anything? Are they doing anything different? Are they being affected by their environment, in the UK or the US? And is there anything I can pull out from a professional perspective? And again, just like you did on the last video, it'd be fantastic if you can comment below. But if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe and give a thumbs up just to let me know that you think I'm doing the right thing. And again, I'm brand new to this YouTube stuff, so if you can give us any nudges on how to do it better, brilliant. But please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up. So that's what I want to do now, just to actually look at the American press conference across in Los Angeles, I believe it was, and to have a look at, now that I've seen the UK one, to see, is there a theme of body language going on? Are they presenting the same things, the same presence, or have they got the same behavioural twitches? And in everything around something like, what do they do when the cameras are on them and all the, the lights, action, let's go for it? Do they show up the same in both venues, the US versus the UK? And again, there is some stuff that I might miss. I've only got one set of eyes. So if you can see anything that you think might be worth exploring or that I have missed, comment below, that'll be fantastic. So let's get into it. So this is courtesy of Bet Victor. That's where I am pulling the video from. Again, everything's done in the fair use policies along with the comment or critiquing phase of fair use laws. The rematch. Okay, so we've got Michael Buffer. Doesn't get any bigger than Michael Buffer. I think that's Frank Smith and Joe Marchese from Frank Smith from Matchroom Boxing and Joe from Design saying, I have not got a Scooby. What just went down there? No idea whatsoever, but this YouTube stuff stands to make us millions, so let's just roll. Okay, so what comparisons can we make? UK versus the US. First of all, KSI. Let's go with KSI. KSI is, I don't want to say a lot more animated, but he was definitely standing up more. He was definitely engaging more. He was definitely more verbal. A slight percentage, if I'm being, specific and accurate, versus the London one, but it was there. It cannot be denied. Logan Paul, in this one, he was sitting down more than he was in the UK one. What can you draw from that? Maybe he felt a little bit more at home. Maybe he was, he had that comfort blanket around him, that it is his backyard, as Shannon Briggs was saying. How will that affect him when it comes to the fight night? If he reacts different to pressure depending on situations, we don't know, but it's definitely something to watch out for. That nervous energy, that adrenaline jump, that crash and burn can come out of it. I would say that Logan Paul had a little bit more banter in the American one. He was actually making me giggle. Maybe he had practiced some lines. Maybe he had ran out of things to say in the UK one. But hey, on the evidence that we've got from here, he definitely had a little bit more about him. The trainers, you had Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs, I think, with this being the first one, in that sort of chronological order, I do believe Shannon Briggs in his head thinks it's him who's fighting. He thinks it's him who's actually doing it, which could be helpful or very unhelpful towards his fighter who he's meant to be training. Can this fighter do what Shannon Briggs can do? Is Shannon Briggs seeing the fighter, or is he just seeing him training for a fight? That's always a good question. But ultimately, I think there were some subtle differences between the UK and the US press conference, which is what the purpose of this video was. And again, thank you for everybody who commented on the initial one to say, Bruce, you need to have a look at this because that's only fair. You need to be able to see both sides of the picture. Well, absolutely true. So for me, KSI seems, and again, I'm not trying to take sides here, I'm just basing on, comparing two videos side by side, to have more of the same mannerisms, more of the same body control, more of the same reaction behaviours in both press conferences. Logan Paul seems the different one. He seems to be the one who is being impacted. Again, I can't say it's negative or not, I'm not too sure, but he was definitely different in the US one versus the UK one, which would indicate, although KSI did have some slight more presence on the stage, he did seem a bit more energetic at certain times, he did get dragged more into that type of verbal battle. He seemed to have him, hooked on his baseline, that emotional baseline, in both press conferences, where you had Logan Paul, who was vastly different. Yeah, vastly different. If you play the two press conferences side by side, in the UK one, he's never on his seat. In the US one, he's on his seat far more. Yes, he does get up and he's still got that energy, but the two of them are very different. So for me, again, if I had to put $100 on it, I'm going to say $100 this time instead of £100, because I am commentating on the American press conference. I've just still got a big question about, is Logan Paul going to have an adrenaline dump? Is he going to have that adrenaline dump to the fact that 1 or 2 rounds he's absolutely knackered? Shannon Briggs is also bigging himself up, bigging Logan Paul up, I should say. Is that going to have an impact? Will Logan Paul, has he got to adopt that what's called the imposter syndrome, that psychological aspect, that angle, that route that you take? Because hey, Shannon Briggs is my trainer. He's a heavyweight champion of the world, knocking people out, etc. Therefore, I've got to do that. I've got to impress Shannon Briggs. That's what I think is going to happen. Again, if I had to put $100 on it, I would say Logan Paul's up against it. He's adrenaline, that nervous energy is going to cause a crash. But also him having to live up to Shannon Briggs, that could be the internal story that add that to the fact that he might have this adrenaline dump. Oh man, I just think it could be an interesting fight. So hopefully you find that a fair and accurate review of the two press conferences. Please subscribe if you like what I've done. I'll be doing more as the fight comes in, and also of other fights as well as putting up videos about well-being and mental health to try and help us understand what's going on in our head and heart, so we can think, feel and act better. But thanks very much for taking your time. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and anything I've mentioned below, if you think I can improve, if you think there's something I've missed, please comment. Believe in Bruce. Thanks very much.